Hey guys, Mr. Neese is going to talk to you a little bit about SE8B. So let me read it to you. Describe how Cold War tensions were intensified by the House Un-American Activities Committee, McCarthyism, the arms race, and the space race. So high level, going to kind of roll through each of them. House of Un-American Activities started in the 30s as House Representatives Committee. It really kind of took a turn in the 40s when it started investigating suspected communists and seeking out communism in this country. One of the big fears for them, the committee was abolished in 75, but they ended up investigating the entertainment industry, blacklisted, meaning you're not going to get a job anywhere else because of who you are, but blacklisted. Several people in the entertainment industry on suspicions of being communist. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't, maybe some were, maybe some weren't, but the whole inquiry on the freedom of this country to believe in what you believe was kind of being a little compromised by this thought process and propagated by Cold War, the fears coming out of World War II and seeing the aggression within the communist countries and the growth. So this was kind of a response to that, which also leads us to McCarthyism. So Senator McCarthy really gained notoriety in the 1950s, claiming he had a list of communists in the State Department, but also it becomes known as McCarthyism, this extreme anti-communist or blaming people for stuff that they couldn't back up because he never really showed the list. He just had a list. So McCarthyism was also a part of that fear of communism and really stoking those fears and trying to get a lot of attention out of that. So something else going on with Cold War, we have an arms race. In the arms race, we coming out of World War II, we had an atomic bomb weapon. The Soviets wanted it. We're not sharing. They come up with their own. We're going to come up with a hydrogen bomb, 50 times more powerful. We've got missiles. Now they're going to have missiles. They got more missiles. We're going to get more missiles. This was the arms race. Who could have the biggest amount of power and firepower to fend off the other one? And that is something that continued on up until, the late 80s. There will be some peace treaty or some signings of reductions of stockpiles, stuff like that. But this is basically what the arms race becomes. Who can be the biggest, strongest with the most weapons. And we got the space race. So 1957, the Soviets launch Sputnik, a little bitty satellite that will circle space and make a little beeping sound. And that kind of freaks us out a little bit. It's, we're United States. Innovation, entrepreneurs, science, math, we should be able to do this. Why are they doing this first? So it challenges us, and we will, follow along with that challenge, and it will recreate a space race. Who's getting where first in space? Who's putting the first man in space? Who's putting the first person on the moon? And we'll get, National Aeronautics Space Administration, also known as NASA, will be created. We'll get a President Kennedy who will challenge us to put a man on the moon by 1969, or by the end of the decade, which in this case would be 69, and we do it. We also get Alan Shepard as the first manned spacecraft to orbit in 61, I believe. So, that starts off another race. The Cold War does, in a sense, generate these kind of competitions. And hopefully that helps you better understand SE8B. Thank you.